part 2 of storing relative values in the programmer in MA3. Let's talk about doing it with an effect. So I'm going to select my washes. I'm going to turn them on just so that we can see them. I'm going to actually deactivate this value in the programmer, so we're only dealing with position values. I'm going to give them some kind of position value. So let's tilt them out a little bit so we can see what they're doing. Now they're at their home pan position, but they're tilted out a little bit. That's great. Now I want to create a relative effect. Let's say I want them to pan. I'm going to do pan -25 to go to second step, 25. I'm going to go ahead and add some other information. Now our lights are panning, and we've done this in the relative layer. Why? Because we want this effect to be relative to whatever position we have. So if I put them in a different pan position before I activate these values, I don't want this pan to be the exact same every time. I want it to be based on whatever position I gave it to start with. So I've put this in the relative layer. Now I'm going to store it as a preset. Before we store anything, we're going to hit the at button and long press it. Now this is giving us an at filter overlay. This is showing what kinds of things will be stored. Right now, if I store, unless it's excluded by the input filter of wherever I'm storing, everything in the programmer is going to be stored. And it is even showing me with these little icons that I have absolute, relative, and phasor values in my position, relative and phasor in the pan, and absolute in the tilt. Now if I would like to, I can just disable that, and then when I store, only the pan values will be stored, which in this case I know only includes relative and phasor values. Another option is I can come over here and I can just disable absolute. And now I can even disable timing if I want. So now only relative and phasor values will be stored. Once I have this the way I want it, click store and tap on a preset, and you can see here there's a pink icon right there which tells us we have relative values, and there's a phasor icon which tells us we have our phasor values. Just to verify, I'm going to go ahead and clear out. I'm going to select my washes, turn them back on. I'm going to give them a regular value that I have already stored in a preset somewhere. A fan, now they're fanned out. I'm going to go back here, select my preset, and they are panning, but the programmer is still showing they're using this preset. If I go to the relative, we can see they're using that preset.